What is up, agents? This is Wrecker, back with another video. So I wanted to make this quick video about my thoughts and impressions about the new exotic SMG that's coming with the new update in Season 2. It's called the Ouroboros, I believe that's how you pronounce it, but after testing it out with the different builds and playing around with it with some time, I wanted to share my thoughts on it. What do I think about it, how it looks, how it performs, all that good stuff. So far, they have confirmed that it is only obtainable from the new incursions. That's another activity that's coming to the game in the next update, which is something that is present in the first game, but now they're adding it to the Division 2 as well, which is great. So as far as the drop chance goes, they did confirm on every weekly reset on the first one, you get a 10% chance of getting it on the first one. So I'm assuming they will be adding like a project. I'm assuming we get exotic caches and stuff. So it could be like, you have to run the incursion at least once a week, and you could get it. There's a 10% chance that you might get it on the first one, right? But after that first one, any other runs will only have 1% chance of getting this SMG from the boss. That's the percentages that they have confirmed so far. Of course, it could change in the future, but these are the numbers for the time being. So let's move on to the SMG itself, how it looks, how it performs, what do I think about it, and go from there. So with that being said, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's begin. Okay, so as far as the visuals go for this SMG, to me it looks very stale. Like, I could be wrong, this could only be a placeholder for the PDS, but they could change it in the final game when it comes out. But for now, it doesn't look very special, it doesn't match the charm for other exotics as far as visuals go, but that's my but that could be me. It looks decent. I'm not saying it's a bad looking SMG, but it's not very special looking, as far as the exotics go. Yeah. So as far as the base number goes, on a full red build, we are sitting at 93k. I believe the base damage for this one is only 40k. That's on par with the Dark Winter and a few other SMGs. So that's very standard, I'd say. But the RPM that it comes with, that's a base 1650. That's very high compared to any other weapon in the game, let alone SMGs. So that's very high as a base number. And a mag of 50. That's standard, I guess, for most SMGs and other weapons. By the way, keep in mind you can re-roll this third attribute. As you can see, we have splash speed, but you can change it up to damage to armor or damage to cover to get the most out of it. So yeah, this is re-rollable for now. That we can see in the PDS it is. But what I'm talking about is most people, if you see on the YouTube presently, most of the content creators are very focused on the base weapon itself. What I mean is they're very focused on I'm not only the Division 2 content creators, but all the players that I have seen on the forums or on the Discord. Everyone is only talking about the base attributes for this SMG, right? How hard it hits, how fast it fires, that kind of stuff, which is good. I agree with them. It is a very hard hitting weapon. I believe with the fully stacked out build on red ones, you can hit up to over 1 million crits, which I did test it earlier, and yes, that's true. And as far as the RPM goes, you can take it high up to over 2000 RPM. Like, for example, if I go back to my build and switch on the striker gear set, the 4-piece, it's gonna push it up to 1800 something. So let's see what we get here. Yeah, there we go. So from 1650, now we're sitting at 1875, right? So that's how striker can push it up, the RPM itself, because it does gives us 15% rate of fire, but you can make it go higher even further if you use a combination of strikers with Umbra, with a Ninja Bike backpack, and you can easily surpass 2000 RPM. And don't forget the other perks that we do get from random sources. Let's say, for example, the gunner specialization. That also gives you 5% rate of fire after a kill. So we can include that as well. And imagine when the global event Golden Bullet hits, right? I don't know how exactly the RPM increase do we get during the Golden Bullet event, but it feels like it's at least like 20-30%, considering the rate of fire that we get on all weapons. Basically, that event makes any gun OP, not only this one, but I'm assuming it's gonna push it up to at least 2500 RPM is what I'm assuming. So I don't know, that's a very high RPM if you include everything. But even for a base number, even with all these sources pushing the RPM even higher, 1650, that's a very high RPM. But I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that they should nerf it or anything. It's good, right? But the only thing that I am concerned about is the talent itself, right? It's very lackluster to me, as per my testing. It's very lackluster, you know. If you think about it, all the exotics that we have in the game, what makes them unique is the talent that comes with it, right? Other than that, it's just a basic weapon, you know, which is just hitting hard with a faster RPM, right? Because the talent in its current state, it's very lackluster. I don't think we would have any use for it. Even for PvP, I don't see this very effective. In fact, you could be at a disadvantage, in my opinion, if you run this in PvP, because without the base damage and the RPM, if you take that away, this talent in its current state isn't doing much, to be honest with you, because it's very conditional. In fact, it's very, very conditional, because you have to... Let me give you an example here. Let's say, for example, your opponent is running St. Elmo's, and he does have shock bullets in the mag. So he shoots you, and do you really think you would have enough time to survive that shock ammo from that St. Elmo, and then reload your weapon, this SMG, and then also have the time to reload your weapon and then shoot that shock ammo, because it does say it's gonna give you half the mag with the same status effect that's being applied to you, right, in combat. So do you really think you will be able to return the favor in that time duration? I don't think so. I'll be honest with you, you will be dead before you can even think about utilizing this talent. Yes, because as you see here, it says when the agent has status effect applied to them, 50% of the ammo in the next magazine will apply the same status effect to their targets, right? It says the next magazine, it's not even the same mag. So you are forced to reload the weapon and get half of the shock ammo from St. Elmo's that's hitting you, right? So at least in PvP, you are a very huge disadvantage, you know, as per my testing and observation. But in PvE, I don't know, it could work, maybe, but it's not very effective, as per my testing. So I don't think in its current state, it's gonna work that much, you know. They should definitely work on the talent itself to make it somewhat viable, because presently you can go out there, as I said earlier, and check out the reviews from other Division 2 content creators or Discord or in the forums or any players database out there, and you will see 90% of them are only talking about the base damage, the fast RPM, or you know, the attributes and attachments that this weapon comes with, which is all good. I agree with them, it's a very good weapon as a base, but being an exotic, it's not good enough in its current state. That's my opinion so far. As per my testing, yes, it works very well, you know, during gameplay, but it's just like, you know, having a very good SPR vector with no talent basically. In fact, if I could, you know, switch to a decent talent instead of the one we are getting, I would 100% switch it up, you know, to gain even more damage or RPM or any other, you know, attribute that the other talents provide you, right? So, but this talent in its current state, it's very lackluster. It's for me, it's completely useless in its current state. But that's just my opinion. Other people might disagree. But it's I don't know, you know, it's very lacklustering, the talent on it. But yeah, other than that, the base damage, the RPM, the mag, the attachments, and the attributes you can put on it, you know, potentially damage targets that have cover on it, you can easily hit over 1 million crits and shred enemies. So basically, you know, shred any content whatsoever presently in the game, and it will be very handy actually during the incursion when it comes out. So if it stays in the present state that it is in currently on the PDS, yes, it's a very, very, very strong weapon. I agree. But the talent, not very much so. But that's just my 2 cents on this weapon. And you know, let me know what you guys think, you know, in the comment section below. If you guys agree or disagree, any feedback is appreciated. You know, I'm just putting out there my opinions, how this weapon works and how it feels like, you know, using this weapon in its current state. So yeah, that's all I had to share for this particular SMG that we're gonna get soon, hopefully. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.